Hi, this is Monica from Unique Designs by Monica, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create these bears on Silhouette Studio. So let's get started. As you can see, there's quite a few. There's quite a few um, positions this bear is in. He's standing up. He's walking on all fours. He's looking at you, and now he's checking out. Showing you his butt. But whichever bear you like, I'm gonna teach you how to use all three. Now for this one, I will be using my line tool a lot, my line style tool, so you can see where all the circles are placed. So let's get started. There's gonna be a lot of circles involved in this. First things first, a circle. Let's just change the color to, you can even make this into like this one right here in particular kind of reminds me of a teddy bear, but realistically they're all teddy bears. Pardon me, I need to get some tea in me. All right, one circle, two circles. Now it doesn't matter the height. This is all depending on how you want your bear to look. The bear could be the bear's ear could be like this. It could be this small. It's really all up to you. I want mine to be right there, and I want it to be directly across. I don't want to fiddle figuring out where it's located. So I'm going to go over here to my replicate panel and just do it once. And by doing so, now I can hold my shift and then move it over. Now if you want to make sure that this is aligned properly, group it up, highlight everything, and then you can align center. There we go. Perfect. Let's weld this together. And now we got our bear. All right, for the mouth of the bear, as you can see, it's not a perfect circle. So what I did is I just grabbed a circle, change the color. Let's just go with pink this time. And all I did was move it upward, giving me more of a flat bottom. This way, it looks more like a muzzle or a mouth, like right there. Let's just make sure this is centered correctly. And now we're gonna do black for its eyes. I know I have like a cream color. You can do that if you want. All right. Let me just make sure this is aligned properly, and then I'm just going to take one more, copy and paste, and there's my nose. Now you can make this as big, hilariously big, or as small as you want. Doesn't have to be the same size, but there you go. Now, for this particular bear right here, these bears right here, I believe I made it into a compound path. Let me just make sure. I did. So that's what I'm going to do also. I'm going to grab this little guy and make it into a compound path. That way I can see right through it. It'll make it right through. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you want to keep it more three-dimensional, you can. That's really up to you. You know what? Let's change this to maybe blue. Purple. That's cuter. Alright, I'm not a big fan of the red, so I'm just going to change it by going to my line style and giving it a nice color. The red is really throwing it off for me, so that's why I went with black. Okay, let's go with this little guy right here first. We're going to be using the same face for every single one except for this one, because obviously it's not facing you, it's facing away from you. So let me just copy, let's group this together and then copy. We always want to have a backup, just in case I do anything wrong with this. Alright, for the first bear, I'm going to have him standing, so I'm just going to grab my circle and I'm going to move it back like that. That's how I want it to be. And I'm going to grab the same color. Oh, again, under the line. There we go. Now, for his arms and feet, what I did is I grabbed this particular shape called the rounded rectangle. And as you can see, it gives you rounded edges. Now, what the nifty part about this particular shape, let me just get it the same color. You see these 2 points? You can make them much more rounded, almost making it look like a pill or a sprinkle if you wanted to. Say if you wanted to make it more like a teddy bear, you would want a more softer edge. But if you want it to be, you know, a soft edge but more defined lines, you can do that as well. Let's make this like that. I kind of like that. Let's move this to the back. All right, and convert the path. You don't want to mess with, once you figure out what you want to convert the path. That way you don't accidentally touch something and it changes the shape. So I'm going to move that, duplicate this, flip it, and move it back like that. Now, if I remember correctly, I made these incredibly small to make it look more comical. You can, or you can make it look more like an actual teddy bear. So let's do both. We got the teddy bear situation going here. And then we're gonna move this guy right here, and let's get rid of this one. I'm gonna move this back and move this back. Here you go. Okay, you got a nice looking teddy bear, or like I have it over here to make it look a little bit more comical. I just shrank these much smaller like that. And the reason why I did it this way is because sometimes you want to send funny little images via like a card. I'm not sure if people send cards still. I know I do. I still send cards via mail. And I would have found this adorable if I had gotten it as a card. With tiny little legs. Move this to the back. Little stubby legs. There we go. Actually, I gotta put these more together like that. Ta-da! Alright, we have our first bear done. So let's group this over here. Group this one over here. Let's make these guys smaller. You gonna work with me here? Yeah, there you go. Kind of looks like a little brother and sister situation going on over here. Alright, let's do this bear right here. So we're going to bring back our face. We're going to grab our ellipse tool or circle tool, and we're going to just put it sideways. Now, it really, you see how different each of these are, but you're using the exact same shape. Circle or the ellipse tool over and over again. I'm going to keep him a little chubby like that. And as you can see, I put a little tail right here. You don't have to put the tail, but look how adorable that is. I'm going to select all of these and weld. And I'm going to change the color and push it back. Look at that. That's adorable. All right. We're doing the same thing. We're going to go over here and get our rounded rectangle and change the color. And you know what? I'm not going to do much to it. I'm just going to leave it like this and then go convert. So what I'm going to do, I want 4 of them. So I'm going to go over here to this replicate panel and go 1, 2, 3, because I already have a 4 right here. And move these back. There we go. And again, I'm not loving the red line, so let's change this to black. Okay, we got ourselves another bear. Let's just group these together. You know what? I want to make this like that. There we go. I'm gonna move it down here. And now we're going to this particular one right here. Bring on another face. And again, get our ellipse tool. Make this guy's body super big. Kinda chunky. Oh, again, I'm under the line. There we go. And move this guy back. Just like that. Alright, he's facing forward. We have our face. Now all we're going to do is going to replicate everything that we just did for these three right here. And I'm not going to do much other than convert the path. And I'm going to use my, what is this thing called? Replicate panel, and do this once. So this is going to be my front. I'm going to group these together. And I want to make sure that this is right in the middle. There we go. And we're going to move them back. We're going to duplicate this again. Copy, paste, ungroup. And we really don't need this guy. I just need this one right here. Alright, and we're going to move it a little higher. And then use the same replicate tool to the left, and I'm just going to move it to the side. Okay. This one too. And I'm going to move them to the back. Ta-da! You're done. That was super easy, right? Alright, again, not a big fan of the red, so I'm going to keep it like that. Now, before I move this over here, I'm going to copy and paste. Group. Copy and paste. Alright, little guy. Your job is done. You're going to be moved over here. And there's really not much to do with this one other than to ungroup. Ungroup. We do not need the eyes or the mouth because we're doing this one right here. And honestly, very little needs to be done other than taking away some of the legs and then moving this guy to the head all the way to the back. And I kind of want to see his face a little more, so I'm going to move it up like that. And of course we can't forget the tail. There we go. Now you can make the tail as big or as small as you want it. Let me just make this a little darker so you can see the tail right there. And that is it. You have officially made, well, more than 4. You've made 5 now, because you made this one look more like a teddy bear, this more like a little sister, and we have a crawler like a little toddler, and then of course you have mommy and daddy. Thank you so much for stopping on by and me showing you how to make SVGs using basic shapes. Thank you very much and have a beautiful day.